So Relics, the new power creep in Raid Shadow Legends. I'll be testing a few of these out today, guys, because I'm on the test server. I have access to every single one of the relics. My curiosity got the best of me because I basically want to see which one of these relics has the most potential, the highest potential to give me the highest damage output for my champions. And I can test this basically on clan boss pretty easily because I can do it on the test server. I can do multiple runs and it's just going to be on one champion. And of course, each relic can be used on different champions differently. For example, let's say the live arena relic, the death dealer. This is so unique, so inaccessible, so difficult to get that honestly I'm not even gonna try to test this out. I think the legendary ones and epics would be the most realistic to test out. The cat's gaze, of course, has been tested to insane amounts, but also the fact that each relic has the possibility to give you different benefits because of the different gemstones that you can apply on them makes things interesting. So the boss slayer is the one, guys, that you want to be using. So the wearer deals 10% more damage to bosses. So imagine if you can use 2 of these, that's 20%, straight up 20% more damage on bosses. But that counts as a relic. If you're equipping a champion with a relic and you can do 2 circular gemstones on them, that is basically like telling you, okay, you can potentially do 20% more damage. So with the cat's gaze, you can do 10%, okay? But with other relics, potentially you might be able to apply 2 of those gemstones and allow for that relic to be better. So the scroll on the unseen, so where's damage increases by 1% each time any other champion takes a turn. So this could potentially give you 20% more damage. But the Irethi coronet gives you 1 circular, okay? So you have different options here on which ones to use. The mythicals, they have 2 circular gemstones here. All right, there's lots of different alternatives that I can see for damage dealers, but I think the ones that I'll be going for are the ones that give you crit damage and see how that benefits you the most. I think the ones up for, you know, contention in terms of being the top ones is the Irethi coronet. We've got the cat's gaze, Irethi coronet, cat's gaze. I want to see the malefic talon on how this does, but it's a chance for this. I'll upgrade every single one to 18, although it's not realistic to take malefic talon to 18, which is the maximum. And then we'll see with, yeah, I'm not going to do the mythicals. We'll see with the essence quencher. Yeah, this could be something because this is basing this on the target's turn meter and boosting your damage through that. And then I don't think there's others that could potentially be good for damage, right? Like this one does, where single target that attacks deal 5% more damage for each exposed neck. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. This one, the preserved aberration, gives you more ignore defense for each poison debuff on the target placed by the wearer. So that could be nice. The wearer deals pure damage equal to 20% of their attack on enemies resisting debuffs from the wearer. This damage cannot be critical. So if you get resisted, you do more damage, but I'm not planning to get resisted. So there's that. So I've got like 5 relics I'll be testing out. Let's start with that. So I'm gonna be doing the same team, same gear. I'm not gonna change anything. This is my bad eater team. Obviously, guys, clan boss is not the ideal thing to showcase damage. Could potentially say Hydra would be the ideal way to test these in terms of damage, but Hydra has so much RNG, it's just stupid. And then we don't have quick battles in Chimera, and I'm not gonna run 20 Chimera battles for this test, okay? So we'll do the testing in the good old clan boss with my buddy Dracomorph. I'm running him in Relentless. I'm not gonna switch him out into a Savage. Relentless gives its own RNG here for the fight, so there's that. But let's start it out. I'm not gonna do mythicals. As I said, I think best way to start out is, oh, this is bugged also. Okay, yeah, I forgot that this is bugged on the test server. Okay, we'll have to find our way through the relic. So what is bugged on the test server, guys, is if I have something equipped, I can't find it. If I click equipped here, this doesn't work. So I have to go through each one of my champions. So in terms of the gemstones here, I have to use, oh yeah, and the gemstones too. I can't even find the gemstones also. Oh, god damn it, man. Sometimes I hate this game. So I'll upgrade this to full. We're gonna go test it out and see what the score is. So guys, starting out with the Irethi coronet, honestly, I think this is the best free-to-play accessible relic in the game because it's an epic one. You can actually forge it relatively easy. And the reason that I'm saying this is the best one is because even on level 18, you get this extra damage, but this extra damage is each time you place a debuff. So the stacking up to 30% is the maximum. Unless this changes the maximum, which is not stated here. Basically, what you're doing here with the extra levels is gaining these extra stats, which isn't that amazing for a damage dealer, except for the attack maybe. But also, you're just stacking this up quicker, which helps for what, PvP fights, but for PvE, it doesn't matter if it's 1% or 3% or 5%, honestly. And 3% is the easiest way to get it because you can get it to level 3 relatively easy. Level 4, 5, and 6 are insanely costly, and you wouldn't do it ever for an epic relic. Okay, it takes that long to get it. So in terms of gemstones, ignoring defense if the target's under 2 or more debuffs, and then deals 10% more damage on bosses. These are the ones I'll be using if I have the chance to do a triangular one and a circle one. So let's go and see. We'll do 3 runs and we'll see on how much damage we do. Obviously with raid, you can do like 120% damage sometimes much less. So look at this, 123 million damage. Pretty good. 62 million from Dracomorph. That's the number I want to see. 62.8 from Dracomorph. That's what I'll be testing. I'll just get the highest number from the run. So 62.3. He did a 66 now. Much better, but the overall was less now, but I guess Dracomorph just did better. Maybe was the brimstone also landing. I could actually remove that to reduce the RNG from that, but he attacks so much that it's basically consistent. So 66 on Draco. I'm gonna write it down so I can see. And then 60. So yeah, we did 66 million with the coronet. All right, I'm gonna write it down. 66 million. Pretty cool. I'd say that was kind of expected. I mean, if I write it once more, it doesn't change much. But the next one I want to try out is the obvious one, which is the Cat's Gaze. It gives me ignore defense. I only have the cruel set on, so would that change much? With this sort of build, the Bat Eater, this is the one of the oldest teams we have in the game. Although when this sort of team came out, it was like a big surprise in terms of how it works and how easy it is to get the oh, come on, did it bug out? Okay, to get the unkillable damage done. It's just insane on where we are in the moment in 6 years into raid. So here I'll do this gemstone, I'll do the triangular one. Let's get some of the ignore defense on. It's a legendary one, so you get more, so that adds up in terms of the usefulness. And then when you upgrade this, it becomes that much better. This is the Cat's Gaze is one that you could potentially say, okay, yeah, let's get this to the maximum if I could. But again, it's so costly. Like these materials that we have here on the test server, we don't have them currently in the game, the higher ones. The idea behind the developers is thoughts is you would be sacrificing your smaller relics and slowly leveling these up to get your good relics all the way to maximum level. So we get extra crit damage, extra attack, no accuracy. Not that I care so much about that, but we do get extra ignore defense. So 10% plus another 10% here. So that's 20% ignore defense. Pretty cool. Let's do 3 runs here and see how that does for us. I think it's gonna be like 55.7. Yeah, that's kind of low. Let's run this again. 55.7 is very low, honestly. 54. So ignoring defense helps with high defense targets. Like the clan boss doesn't have so much defense. Okay, so probably it doesn't matter that much. But remember, I'm not even running like a savage set on my Draco here. I'm running a cruel set. So it should have given me like a good edge comparing it to before. But before it was 30% boost in damage with the coronet. Here it's 20% ignore defense. So it helps with very high defense targets when you don't have any ignore defense. So 56.8. I did 56.8 with the cat's gaze. That is very surprising. That is very surprising. But I imagine on the Chimera, it would have been way different. So we have a different affinity now. I don't think it matters. I could test this again. Don't think it matters that much for us. We weren't getting weak hits and stuff, but we should be okay. 56 million. Yeah, we got about 56 with this one. Let's just run it once more. Doesn't matter much, as I said. But Draco, do it. 60.8. This was better. Like the RNG that happens with damage, guys, is real. It's like, I believe it's 90 to 110%, not 80 to 120%. I don't think it drops that low, but there's even RNG with the damage that you see from your champions. It might actually be 120%. These numbers, I forget on these small things that Plarium adds into the game. So Cat's Gaze, obviously weaker than the Coronet, at least for the clan boss. So the next one that we want to see, guys, is let's unequip these because this is so stupid. It's just a bug system on the test server. Doesn't allow you to test that well, but it is what it is. So the next one I wanted to test. The Stormcaller would have been cool, I guess. I think the next one I wanted to see was let's try out the malefic talon. Why not? Why not? This is the one that I expect to give you the least benefit because it's a rare one. So what kind of benefit can you see? You already don't have the circular gemstone, so I don't expect much from this. Again, it's all RNG with the extra turns and stuff, but that's why I'm running 3 runs. We'll see on how that goes. I think upgrade this. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There we go. We get the extra stats here, which is nice, but we get barely any attack. So 104 comparing it to like the 400 we would get before. So there we go. Ignoring 3% defense. That's it. And then we have 20% chance to deal 10% more damage. And then this jumps up to 20, 30, 40% chance extra. No, 10, 20, 30. So that's 50% chance to deal 10% more damage. So it's not a lot. It's basically, it's a chance for you to do extra damage as much as the gemstone would give you. That is so bad, actually, now that I think of it. So let's run Draco and see. 54.5, barely doing anything. This is the lowest one so far. Was expected, actually. Still there, though. Still there, like the 10%. 54.8. Come on, one more. 55, maybe. We'll see. 54.2. No. So we did 54.2 with this one. Obviously, the worst. So far, the coronet is like 6 million higher than the second best. So, ooh, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So let's go with. There was a few more that I wanted to test, guys. I already had these thoughts in my head, so that's why I've been testing these. There is the murder fang, but this is look at this, guys. This is giving you a chance to deal bonus damage when using default skills. Bonus damage is either 3% single target or 1%. Should I do the mythical relic? Let's do the mythical relic. I mean, it's kind of a waste not to do it, right? So let's just throw in these crazy. Can I do anything with these? No. I think this one doesn't give me any damage. So these are only the 2 damage ones. Yeah. So Murder Fang actually can give me additional bonus damage. Bonus chance jumps up to 20, 30, 35%. So 60% chance to deal bonus damage using default skills. Bonus damage is equal to 3% of the target's max health. This should give me the highest damage, right? So Murder Fang, the mythical one. Let's go. Let's go. I want to see like 70 million, please, for it to be 60.7. What? Is that really all there is? 58.9. It's actually worse. It's worse now. The coronet is winning by a good margin, 58.9. Let me do it one more time. So what was that? 60 million was the highest. Let's see. Final attack. I did it 4 times. Yeah, 60 million was the highest on the Murder Fang. Like if I see it in like a normal fight, how does it look when the Murder Fang procs? Let's see. Yeah, it didn't proc there. I would have seen like the extra number there. I need to see like a defense down. Weekend got resisted. Come on. Like seriously. The live arena bonuses could also help. Let's say if I boosted the ignore defense on the clown boss to maximum. So that was probably War Master, 59,000. It doesn't show when it procs. The Murder Fang. And I did equip it. Doesn't show. It's very it's very interesting here. Or maybe it does. I saw like a 74,000 damage, but I think that was War Master. Because now with the defense down and weaken on, it does more damage. No, I just can't see it. Can't see the Murder Fang there. It's like it wasn't there. So maybe it's bugged. I wouldn't. When using default skills. So it's only on your default skills also. So yeah, that's why I wasn't seeing it. It's only on the default skills. So maybe with ally attackers. Oh yeah, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. The damage that I would get is very little. Because when do I get the extra turns? So, Murder Fang, let's remove the gemstones. Because I only have like 2 gemstones. That's stupid. So, this one. Where is damage? The essence quencher. Where is damage is increased by 20% of the target's current turn meter. So, what is this? It's like a cheap version of the coronet, but it is for champions who don't have debuffs. Possibly. But look at this. This one, you have to take it to maximum to get some of these benefits. Look at this. Trying to get it to max. So, ooh, I can actually do 2 triangular ones on this one. So where's damage? The max damage goes up by 10%. So it increases to 30% of the target's current turn meter. Or no. No. Damage cannot be increased by more than 10%. So damage cannot be increased by more than 20%. And then 10% against bosses. So this is just a 10% damage? Is this it? This is so stupid. It's just... yeah, this is stupid. 10% damage? So it's increased. Damage is increased by 20% of the target's current turn meter. So if the target has 100% turn meter, your damage is boosted by 20%, but cannot be boosted more than 10%. So Just 10. This is just 10% damage. Why? Why does this? Why do they make these relics? Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. I think 64. Wow. Okay, that was really. I wonder if it boosts. I wonder if it boosts all your damage. This is like a huge difference. 56 and 64, but it counts. 64 million. And this was the closest one to be a contender. 60 million. Let's do another one because we gotta have a replication of that really high damage. Maybe it was like lucky procs there. 61 million. Okay, yeah, it's looking like it. It's looking like this is number 2, and then Cat's Gaze is number 3. But again, this is the clown boss, guys. This is low defense comparing it to Chimera and the Hydras. It's just the easiest way to test these with multiple runs. I've done 21 keys so far, just to give you guys an example of how this goes. So let's do one more. Not one more. I think I've got a couple more relics that I wanted to test. This is so interesting. Coronet, though, it seems such a good one, and it doesn't need to be fully upgraded. It just doesn't. And kind of like that. I like that. I like that it's easy as that. So unequip. So let's see the standard ones. I don't want to test these out. There's a couple that give you like more damage based on the number of debuffs. Deals 2% more damage if the target has any debuffs. You're never gonna upgrade this. That is actually really stupid as a relic. The small ones you're just gonna sacrifice. You're gonna use the epic ones. So let's see the Death Dealer. I would have loved to test this out, but it makes no sense. So the wear single target damage. Okay, this is the final one. The preserved aberration. Yeah, the preserved aberration. This one is going to be the final test, guys. So what does this one do? Ignore 2% of the target's defense for each poison debuff on the target placed by the wearer. So I can ignore up to 3, 4, 6% extra. So why not make it 10? All right, so 8% total defense. Ignore. Is that it? And I can't even really boost my damage here by any of these. I don't remember any of these being damage dealing ones. Just throw something in there and then throw this. I guess this one doesn't give you any crit damage, so I think the coronet is gonna take the win, guys. And it was the first one that I tried. Yeah, it's very clear cut so far on which ones are the best. It's like the Cat's Gaze is so good. Then we had the coronet, and then we actually had the other one that gives you a little bit of damage, but it's the circular gemstones also that play such a huge role, which I still haven't got one. But if you get it, it gives you the damage. So if I could use it, I used it. So I get some crit damage here, good amount of accuracy, good amount of attack. Very nice for Draco, actually. Very nice. But the ignore defense, this is so unrealistic that you'll go all the way with this one. So let's do a couple runs. What we're looking for is north of 66 million on Dracomorph, which not gonna happen. 57, that's a good one, actually. A little bit of ignore defense. It's nice. 52, way lower than before. Then the final one. So 57 was this one? Yeah. 57 again. So yeah. Coronet gets the win, guys. What can I say? I kind of expected it. So out of all of these relics, guys, this one from the Chimera, the Irethi Coronet, gets the win. And it's the one that you wouldn't really expect, right? It wouldn't really expect that the epic one would get the win. But again, For clown boss, which is lower defense, it works differently. I would say for the Chimera, it becomes even closer on which one's the best. But again, with more ignore defense gear, and when we get the live arena bonuses, I think the Chimera, you might even see the coronet being used over things such as the cat's gaze. We'll see. We'll see, guys. Thank you all for watching this video, guys. Thank you all for supporting the channel with your likes and subscribes. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.